I started my career in Meaford, Ontario on the 21st of February 1993. For those that don't know Meaford, it was commonly referred to back then as Camp Meaford, and it was just a little small camp where they provided training for military members. It later became known as the Militia Training and Support Center. Others, other than DND, utilized the facilities. So OPP, as an example, in Ontario, utilized the facilities. So when we got there, it was pretty much 5 or 6 little wee bungalow-style buildings, and we built 11 new 2- and 3-story structures for dining facilities, water treatment plant, accommodation buildings, maintenance facilities. And at the time, back in '93, it was huge. It was a $100 million project. It was huge back then for us, right? And we had 11 buildings to build, and I was fortunate enough to be one of the guys that got selected to be hired to be a mechanical inspector back then. Well, my most memorable memory, I guess, would be not long after I started, about a year or so after I started, I got invited to the Ontario region for a Ontario Regional Conference, and really didn't have any idea why they would invite me to such a thing after only been there a year. But when I got there, anyway, we went to a place called Picton, Ontario. I think it was called the Isaiah Tubbs Resort, and I remember having, we all went to a dinner. We had this group dinner, and this gentleman sat across from me that I had no idea who he was. And back then, I was quite a bit shyer than I am today. And so anyway, he talked away to me, and I answered all his questions. I still didn't have any idea who he was. I didn't want to ask him who he was, because in case I should know who he was, right? But anyway, after dinner, we all settled into the room for awards. It ended up he was the president of Defense Construction, and he presented me with the President's Award that year. And that was Mr. Atchison, who wasn't with DCC much longer after that, but that was probably, what opened the door for me and the rest of my career with Defense Construction, was winning that award, and my name came at the top every time something came up, so that was my fondest memory. Find somebody that you can get mentorship from. Ask lots of questions, soak up all the information you can, and never be afraid to share that information with your fellow members. There's a whole lot of people in this company that have a whole lot of information in their mind that you need to get out of their mind and into your mind in order to be successful. And don't be shy and backward, and make a name for yourself. Make sure people know, the accomplishments that you're making, and it will go a long way for you, developing a great long career with Defense Construction. I suppose after these years of trying to tell people everything that I've learned about construction and procurement and everything else, all the other jobs I've done with DCC, including project management, I've done a whole lot of teaching. And I think if I had to choose another career, it would be something in the lines of a motivational speaker or doing presentations for firms that hire you because you're an expert in what you talk about, right? So I think that's really about the only thing that I could think of. I was an estimator for a lot of years. Certainly wouldn't ever want to be an estimator as a career. It was just so boring. DCC has been so uplifting because every day there's something new, right? And I've enjoyed telling people, teaching people, trying to get people to understand how we do our business and why we do it that way. So I suppose I would try to be an educator of some kind. Well, I haven't made any real firm plans. I certainly plan on continuing with my fitness program, trying to get healthy again, and I've got some ideas on some things I'd like to try and make out of wood. Some things that I've seen recently at various craft shows that I think are way overpriced. I think I could build them myself cheaper. I want to spend more time with my grandkids for sure. And my current love of my life, we'd like to go and do some traveling, but it's not going to happen immediately. Right now, my plan is to look out the window for a few weeks and watch the winter go by here in Alberta and laugh at those of you that have to get out there and go out into the snow. So I don't have any real plans about Mexico or Dominican or anything like that, but it's certainly in the background for me. I'm going to have lots of time to figure those things out. We'll just see. We'll just have to see. So anyway, in closing, I can be a kind of an emotional guy, so I'm not going to say a whole lot. I'll say goodbye to you all in writing on my last day, but just wanted to thank everyone that's had anything to do with my career with DCC. I'm not going to name any names because the minute you start doing that, you leave people out, and then they'll be upset with me, and I don't want that. But I'd just like to wish you all the best in your future with DCC, and hopefully you'll have as great a time in your career as I have had. Thanks a lot, everyone, and I'll see you.